If you are new to this channel and enjoy the content that you see, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be alerted and notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel, along with following me on these social media platforms to stay connected with me at all times. Also, feel free to check out all of your favorite videos and playlists located down in the description box below. Thank you so much for your continued support. Now let's begin. With Marvel Studios' Avengers 4 movie on the horizon, set to be released in 2019, fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe are begging the question, what exactly is going to be the role of Captain America in this upcoming movie, and is he going to be more involved in the fight against Thanos now than how we saw in Avengers Infinity War? Well, Captain America, among many other characters, were one of many in which had little to no screen time against Thanos in Infinity War, but it looks like, according to one of the screenwriters for the next Avengers film, that might be likely to change.
Some characters have great stories in the second movie. Somebody like Cap or Natasha, you might feel, oh, they didn't have quite as much to do as, say, Thor or Doctor Strange, and that surprises me. It's likely because they have a lot to do in the next one.
Now, as we all already know, Captain America is set to appear in the upcoming Avengers movie, but the question is, what exactly is his role going to be? We know that Tony Stark, Ant-Man, and Bruce Banner are going to be seemingly enough moving throughout time and revisiting different timelines and events that the Avengers have come across before, but what about Captain America? What is Captain America's role going to be, not only in encountering Tony Stark after having to follow Civil War now, but more importantly against Thanos now, who is at the peak of his power? What can Captain America do in order to complete his mission in saving the Avengers? But not just the Avengers, the entire universe as well. But then that begs the question, what exactly can Captain America do by himself? Well, we have a few theories. The first hypothetical theory is, of course, Captain America sacrificing himself to defeat Thanos. As, of course, many others, including myself before, have prognosticated, there is a chance for Captain America to either die off or be sacrificed in the upcoming movie. Now, why exactly would Captain America sacrifice himself? Well, the character itself was built on sacrifice, in protecting the people around him, the people that he cares about the most. Hence why his backstory is so meaningful, especially now. If there is no other alternative to defeat Thanos, there must be a way. And if one of those ways requires for Steve Rogers to sacrifice his own life to do so, then he will do so. Now, let's not forget, it's not outside of the realm of possibility for Steve Rogers to patch things up with Iron Man, of course, but the likelihood of that is going to be slim, at least for the first act of the film. Everyone is grieving, their friends have been destroyed, so now we have the arc where Tony Stark finally encounters Steve Rogers many years following the events of Civil War. And I do personally feel if Captain America, alongside Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, Captain Marvel, and everybody else left in the group, if they end up fighting Thanos, the one person I could see sacrificing his life for the greater good of the team would be Captain America. It is the definition of who he is, it is the representation of his character, and I do believe that at this very point, if it means bringing everybody back and restoring the order of the universe, I think Steve Rogers would do so. But in the fight with Thanos, it would not be easy. Can Captain America go toe-to-toe and defeat Thanos at this current point in time? Absolutely not. At least as an individual. If, of course, Captain America has Captain Marvel, Thor, Hulk, and everybody else by his side, there is a possibility for Captain America to have the edge over Thanos. But so as long as Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet, everybody in that squad is basically toast. So I do believe that the end game for the Avengers at this current point must require a sacrifice. Somebody is going to have to do something at such a drastic level that if it means to fully destroy and reverse the effects of what Thanos had done, somebody among that group must make the necessary sacrifice to do so. And I do believe if it's not going to be Tony Stark, it's indefinitely going to be Captain America. Now, the producers and screenwriters of the Avengers 4 movie have gone on record in saying that there are certain characters in this upcoming movie that are going to have a more significant and bigger role than many other characters in the film, including their previous roles in Avengers Infinity War, one of which, of course, is Captain America. Now, with Captain America, you have to look at the character objectively, and with Captain America either having to die off or sacrificing himself by the end, Captain America has absolutely nothing to lose. He lost his his best friend, he lost the love of his life. Captain America has been around seemingly enough for 100 years, and he's seen it all, he's done it all, and he seemingly enough has lost everything. So at this point, if Captain America doesn't die in the fight, he will make a sacrifice. However, what about the Red Skull? We know that Captain America and the Red Skull have such a history. Is it possible that finally in this movie we are going to see the final chapters of the Red Skull and Captain America come to a head, having to follow the very first Captain America movie? So with that, I do think that it would be suitable for Captain America to finally get his hands on the Red Skull and finally being able to get his hands on the Red Skull and finishing that story off. Now again, I don't think that the Red Skull is possibly going to kill Captain America per se, because we don't even know where Red Skull is. He's located out there somewhere in the universe on a very desolate planet in which we have no information on, so the possibility of Captain America having to go as far as to meet him does seem a little far-fetched, but this is where Ant-Man comes in. I do believe that with the quantum realm having to be used, it is possible that by some chance, if Captain America and Ant-Man end up working together, there could be some sort of a miscalculation where the end result takes Captain America and said party on the very same planet and location and where Thanos had made the sacrifice in killing Gamora, where finally we get to see the showdown between Red Skull and Captain America. Again, I do believe that based on what we've seen in the comics before, there is a possibility, a very strong possibility, that Captain America is going to be killed off in this movie because he is ultimately replaced, as are many characters within the Marvel comics. You can just go back and read that for yourself. But I don't think Disney's going to have the balls to pull the trigger in permanently putting down the Steve Rogers character. However, the Russo brothers have said that most of the deaths that we are going to see in both of these movies are going to be permanent. And with Captain America seemingly enough having nothing to gain but everything to lose, what more can you do? Now, Bucky is set to be White Wolf in the next Black Panther movie. That goes without question and is set in stone. But having Falcon replace Steve Rogers as the next Captain America also has sort of like a sensational but yet good feeling to it, because as we've all seen before, the Winter Soldier does take the role of Captain America in the comics, but just as the Winter Soldier has, Falcon has as well. So maybe if Captain America sacrifices himself or dies in the midst of battle, we can ultimately see the next chapter of the Captain America franchise unfold, with Falcon having to take the role of Steve Rogers now and becoming the next Captain America. Now, of course, many of you might be asking the question, why do I keep insinuating that Captain America, mainly Steve Rogers, is going to be killed off in this upcoming movie? Well, Chris Evans to this day has not been confirmed to renew his contract after the Avengers 4 movie, which basically insinuates that if he doesn't renew the contract, he's not going to be a part of the next set of Marvel movies. And if Chris Evans is not going to be a part of the next set of Marvel movies, then we're more than likely not going to see the role of Steve Rogers, also known as Captain America, in the future of the Marvel movies. Of course, as an end result of him not signing any new contract and having to guarantee his spot in future movies. So the question then lingers as to where do we go with the character from this very point in time? Do we evolve him and keep him around, or does he fade away as a means of being written off or killed during the course of battle? I do believe that one of the major roles that Captain America is going to have in this movie is going to be with Tony Stark himself. Those two have so much history that I do believe that they're going to finally put everything aside, especially following Civil War, that they have no other choice but to work together, especially at this current point in time. Thanos had won. Thanos had not only defeated the Avengers, but completely obliterated half of the universe as an end result of his supremacy. So with both of them having to finally meet up, especially after having to follow the events of Infinity War, seeing Tony Stark hold up his phone, we know that he received a text message from Steve Rogers, and there was some sort of an illusion behind communication between the two. One of the parties must have not answered while the other possibly tried to reach out, and I think at this point it was Captain America who possibly tried to reach out to Tony Stark, but Tony being Tony, he simply didn't want to accept. At this point, he has no other chance but to accept in seeing the group come together for the first time in a very long time, in getting together, becoming stronger than ever, in having to fight against their most powerful adversary ever in the history of their battles. But how exactly will Tony Stark and Steve Rogers patch up their problems remains a mystery, because we know that they haven't really spoken since Civil War. There was no communication on each side. Perhaps maybe, I think it was Captain America trying to reach out to Tony Stark, but as an end result, I don't think that Tony was courteous enough to return any of the phone calls or messages that possibly Steve Rogers have left him. but this leaves them no other choice. The Avengers are in the end game right now, and as individuals, I don't think nobody currently in the Avenger group can defeat Thanos so as long as he has the Infinity Gauntlet. However, I think that as an end result, Captain America may be one of the key components, one of the main characters in this movie that either prevents Thanos from using the Infinity Gauntlet further, or disarms him, or does something of significant importance that gives the team a chance to defeat him. But by the end, I would like to know what you guys have to say about Captain America in this upcoming movie. What are your overall thoughts on his role? I don't think, as many people have insinuated, that Captain America is a Skrull. I don't think that the fan theory of Captain America having to be a Skrull is true, but I do believe that Captain America, if anything, is going to serve a huge purpose, possibly even a sacrificial purpose for the team, in being one of the most dominant figures of the group, in sacrificing his own life for the greater good. But I want to hear your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. How do you think he's going to patch things up with Tony? What are your overall thoughts on Captain America meeting the Red Skull? Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are stoked, ready, and excited for the upcoming Avengers movie, go on ahead and slap a like down below. If you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to punch that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace.